Let's now talk about operators. Before that, in case if you don't need border of Visual Studio Code, you can press F11 and you won't see border anymore. Now let's create new file. Let's now talk about first two groups. First group is group of mathematical operators. We have equal, we have not equal, less than or equal to, greater than, and greater than or equal to. Beside of mathematical operators, we have logical operators. We have and, or logical not. After mathematical operators finish their function, they can return us only true or false value. Logical operators help us to write multiple conditions or multiple investigations about some statements. Logical AND means that all of the statements must be true, or means that only one statement in our investigation must be true, and not logical operator reverse the result, which means that returns false if the result was true. Let's now write real examples. First example will be true because 2 is equal with 2. 3 is not equal to 4, result will be also true. 2 is less than or equal with 2, so result will be true. 3 isn't equal or isn't greater than 4, and result will be false. In fifth example, 2 is less or equal than 2, and 6 is greater than 5. So we have logical operator and both of the statements are true. Final result will be true. 3 isn't greater than 4, but 3 is less than 5. One of the statements are true, and because we have logical operator OR, the final result will be true. We can now save our file and execute our application in terminal. We now see output of our application. Let's now talk about additional operators. We will close our terminal and we will create a new file. Let's create main function, and inside of main function one variable num1. When we talk about additional operators, we have 7 of them. Now we will write all of them to see how they work. If we want to apply additional operator to specific number, in this case that will be num1 variable, we will type name of that variable. Then we will type operator which we want to use. And after that, operator will operate under one specific value. Let's say in this case we will write value 20. Now how this operator change value of our variable? Well, it will assign new value to that variable. But in which way? num1 new value will be equal to num1 old value and plus value which operator bring to our variable. So in this case now, new value of variable num1 will be 30. Why? Because 20 will be added to old value of our num1, which was 10, and now new value of num1 variable will be 30. Next 4 operators are working in the same way. Now, operator minus equal will change our value back to 20. How? Because now value of num1 is 30, and that is the old value. Operator will bring us 10, which means that 30 minus 10 will be 20. And now new value of num1 is 20. Operator star equal will bring us value 40. How? Old value was now 20. We will multiply 20 by 2 and the new value of num1 will be 40. Operator divide equal will bring us again value 20. How? Now old value is 40. We have applied value 2 with operator, so new value will be 40 divided by 2 and new value will be 20. Operator percentage equal is slightly different. How? Well, num1 percentage equal with 2 will be 0. How? Well, 20 is 2 multiplied by 10 and plus 0. When we divide 20 with 2, we get whole number and we don't have the rest. So num1 percentage equal with 2 will be 0. So new value of our num1 variable will be 0. Last two operators are for increment and decrement value by 1. So now last value of num1 was 0. When we increment value by 1 and then print, num1 will be 1. When we decrement value by 1 with last operator, value of num1 variable will again be 0. Let's now save and execute our application. And this is the output of our application. Now let's talk about how we can match numeric types. We will create a new file. Let's create main function, and inside of main function two variables, float64 and integer. By default, this additional operator will give data type float64 to variable f1 and integer data type to variable s1. In case we need some other integer data type, we can use one thing. We can use casting. How we can do that? Well, we will declare s2 variable. Then we will assign operator. And before we assign value, we will write data type which we want to bring to our operator, like this. Now, inside of this casting, we will write value which we want to bring to our s2 variable. Now, in this case, operator won't assign integer data type to s2. In this case, it will be integer 64. In case we want to pass these values to some mathematical operators, we might get some error. Why? Let's try to sum two variables. In this case, we will get an error. Why? Because f1 and s1 data type are not matched. We cannot work with mathematical operations unless all the values of our variables have the same data type. So how we can resolve this? We can resolve by casting, and we will write casting inside of our function. Now we won't get an error. Why? Because f1 is float64, but we cast s1 variable to float64. Now result 1 will be float64 data type. In second case, s1 is integer, so we cast s2 to the same data type, and now result 2 will be int. When we print those two results, we will get this output. Now we can save our file and execute our application. As we can see, this is the output that we are looking for. In the next video, we will talk about FMT package and how we can print our values.